Yes, Your Majesty. The Divine Crusader and Mr. Smith have given me the locations of all known Aldmeri forces within the Empire. The Legion is making sure no supplies or messages get through to them, so they are effectively being starved out. It reminds me of the Akaveri at Pale Pass, Your Majesty. Our forces are moving into position to assault the Aldmeri forces should they attempt to move or attack. The 33rd have ordered the borders closest to the enemy to be defended, but most of the enemy forces are inside the Empire already. From what I can tell, they were nearly ready to start the next war, but thanks to your efforts at Helgen, we have the element of surprise. With their forces divided, still waiting for supplies before they can start the next war, and out of touch with each other, I would say yes, Emperor. It will be a slaughter. Our early advantage will weaken the Aldmeri Dominion considerably, but they will recover. We have to defeat the bulk of the forces already here before we can even consider an invasion of the Aldmeri Dominion. But the Aldmeri Dominion can build a new army in its own territory whilst we do that. I believe we will suffer few losses. Our advantage is too great. Also, our troops will gain valuable experience during the campaign. By the time we turn our attention to the Aldmeri Dominion, we will have a veteran army to take on their raw recruits. Yes, Your Majesty. Goodbye, Your Majesty.
The Aldmeri Dominion wishes to pay its respects to you, Your Majesty.
Always a pleasure, Your Majesty. How may I be of assistance? A mistake, Your Majesty. I will see to it that those responsible are punished. The treaty, Your Majesty. You cannot jest. No, Your Majesty, but we. The treaty clearly states. What? The Empire has to stand by its treaties. So it is true. You are Dragonborn. A Dragon Emperor. I must update our records. Talos was a man, and he's dead. What message do you have for us, Emperor? You cannot do that. We have a treaty, it says. Then war it is. You are a student of history. Good. Your part in it will be short. We will see to it. Goodbye, Emperor. You will regret this, Emperor.
Greetings, Emperor. Already done, Your Majesty. General Lightheart saw to it. He has even placed forces inside elsewhere to harass the enemy when the time comes. Once we start shelling their towns with the heads of the Justicar, they will know we mean business, Emperor. The news of such an act will spread like wildfire around the Somerset Isles. The Falmor may even spread the news themselves. It would also be a good way to tell those opposed to the Falmor that they have allies in the Empire. This may open a few doors for me, Emperor. I will see to it. Will you be joining them, Emperor? Good, that will be a major boost to the morale of the troops, Your Majesty. Yes, Your Majesty. The days of the Dragon Emperors have truly returned.
May I be of assistance, Your Majesty?
It is good to see you again, Your Majesty.
I'm waiting.